It's going to be more difficult to show that multiple dimensions exist than it is to show that reality is wave-based. And I want to start this discussion on multiple dimensions by showing you an illustration from my book, Earth's Hidden Reality. Now, metaphysical literature shows that there are multiple dimensions in the Earth environment coexisting in the same physical space. Now, they talk about a particular characteristic with the physical and etheric dimensions in that they are really tied to each other. And I'm going to exploit that in the experiments that I do in the book or describe in the book in Appendix A. The first is with light, and as well as with magnetism and other forces that we have in nature. I believe that those forces are actually in the etheric dimension that's coexisting with the physical and not in the physical dimension. And that's one of the things that I'm going to try and show in the experiments. The key is that with the propagation of light, especially light from the sun going through outer space, scientists say that you have to have a medium in which a wave propagates, kind of like you have to have water for ripples on the water to occur. But they say in outer space, you don't have to have a medium. I think that medium exists and it's in the etheric dimension. And that's how waves propagate, waves of light propagate through outer space. And I want to say the same thing for electromagnetism and other forces as well on Earth. Now, the way I want to show that is with an experiment on light to show that it can't come from the physical dimension, it has to come from something else. That's going to be one experiment. The other experiment is with healing energy. Now, you have healers who hold their hands over a person's body, or they say that they'll push energy into a person's body, but you can't see it. And so a lot of people, say that that's pseudoscience because you can't prove it. Well, I want to try and show it. And the way you can do that is with the same technique that was used to show that cosmic radiation exists, and that's with a cloud chamber. And it's basically a glass jar sitting on top of a block of dry ice, creating a cloud of water vapors in the jar. If a healer puts their hands on either side of that jar, you can see any healing energy that's moving from one hand to another. And that's going to be that experiment. Now, in addition to the scientific anomalies, I'm also going to do experiments related to a book that was written by published by the Theosophical Society, and first in 1908, and with a third edition in 1951, and it's called Occult Chemistry. And don't let the title scare you. But what they did was they showed diagrams of how 97 different atomic elements look. And that's kind of interesting. But they also show how it decomposed. And the thing that I want to exploit in that book is that the decomposition, they say, goes between dimensions, and that all matter has an etheric component as well as a physical component. And the experiment that I want to do is to do a desk study comparing the decompositions in the book Occult Chemistry with the decompositions that you see at the Large Hadron Collider and in other particle physics literature. So those are the things that I'm going to be looking at. I showed you the diagram of what multiple dimensions look like in metaphysical literature. I hope you'll read more about it in the book, Earth's Hidden Reality. Thanks for listening.